We're back on the bike, baby. Back on two wheels.
Welcome back to the viral TikTok dance sensation known as 2 Wheels, 3 Sheets. And while Chad hates a YouTube dance interlude as much as the next red-blooded Gen Xer, it's not every day we get our motorcycle back after a week in the shop. So after topping off the tank, we wasted no time hitting the road for our final week of season number 3. Starting with a marathon tour of the Sacred Valley. Departing Cusco, we headed north, over the river and through the, woods, to the first stop on our tour, Pisaq. From there, we would continue up the Urubamba Valley to Ollantaytambo, before retracing our steps down to Moray, and continuing to our final stop of Chinchero, thus concluding the tour. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The original purpose of Pisaq is unknown. Thought by some to serve as a citadel, protecting the southern entrance to the Sacred Valley, and believed by others to have been a retreat for royalty, far away from the hustle and bustle of Cusco. It was undeniably an important agricultural site where a number of crops were tended to on over 500 terraces lining the hills. And while it's difficult to tell from the video, the terrace walls average 3 meters or 10 feet in height, which gives you a pretty good idea of the scale of this operation.
What's up, monkey? There's a puppy. You're just a puppy.
After a brief tour of the site, we jumped back on the bike and set our sights on the former imperial stronghold of Ollantaytambo. The Sacred Valley, originally occupied by an estimated 8 to 10 distinct ethnic groups as early as 800 BC, was conquered by the Inca sometime around 1400 CE, before relinquishing control to the Spanish some 140 years later. Long before tuk-tuks roamed these hallowed grounds,
Damn. Is there anybody in there?
No.
No?
It was just him. He's the driver.
Damn.
but that's enough bloodshed for the time being. I'll digress, and we'll mind our own business. Over 65,000 Peruvians call this Sacred Valley home, and it hosts between 1 and 2 million people annually. And as luck would have it,
Oh, damn, there's a bunch of people up there. Holy sh**.
they're all here today, packing the road into Ollantaytambo.
Hey, Dan, what are you doing, dude?
We fought through traffic, only to emerge in something more reminiscent of a carnival than an archaeological site.
This is like more touristy than Machu Picchu. Seas of people.
more people here than there were at Machu Picchu and Pisaq. This is crazy.
The crowds, coupled with the fact that we were admittedly and regrettably jaded,
The stone's on this guy.
made it near impossible to appreciate where we were.
That's interesting joinery.
The look on my face says it all. It turns out you can have too much of a good thing. And we had lost count of the ruins we had visited over the last couple of weeks. So, after jockeying for position, with the hordes of tourists all fighting for the same pictures, we retreated to the relative calm of Ollantaytambo's lowlands. After successfully pushing back advancing conquistadors here in 1536, the Inca retreated north a year later, and the entirety of the Sacred Valley fell under Spanish rule. This was the site of the Incas' last stand in what was formerly their political, spiritual, and militaristic capital.
Absolutely amazing.
And quite possibly the most impressive of all the Inca ruins, including functioning irrigation and some of the oldest continuously occupied dwellings in all of South America. But unfortunately, the grandeur was lost on us. So we fled to the street market, where we perused the collection of colorful tchotchkes and enjoyed a few refreshments before retiring for the evening. The next morning, we departed the Urubamba Valley, ascending the highway to the Chinchero Plateau and Moray, despite having had our fill of the Inca Empire. We'd be remiss to put on blinders and simply beeline it to Lima. So we pushed on, determined to check all the boxes.
We got here just in time for the tour groups. Lucky us, I love me a tour group.
Or 12.
Or 12.
This otherwise nondescript site, consisting of approximately 20 terraced bowls, is perhaps the most interesting on our tour. The design and orientation of these depressions creates on average a 1/2 degree Celsius or 1 degree Fahrenheit variation in temperature per level. This served as a temperature-controlled lab in a sense, where the Inca performed agricultural experiments, including the creation of what is called today genetically modified crops. Departing Moray, and desperate to get our tires dirty, we elected to take the scenic route to the final stop on our tour, Chinchero.
Ah, perfecto. ¿Y cuánto?
2 soles.
Dos? Yeah, 2 soles.
I got good news. There's a lot of stairs.
Sitting at over 3,700 meters, or 12,500 feet, Chinchero is considered by many to be the most picturesque village in all of Peru. The home of a small church, built in approximately 1607, atop a series of terraces. The historic plaza is a beautiful blend of Spanish colonial and Inca architecture. The interior of the church, including impressive frescoes, is all original, and our pictures, taken covertly during Mass, are far from doing it justice. Having finally escaped the tour bus crowd, we took our time strolling the grounds, including the museum and surrounding neighborhood, before loading up, bidding the sacred valley farewell, and starting our descent into the Apurimac River Valley. Stopping along the way, as we do, to take pictures of whatever happens to catch Chad's eye. And the occasional firebombed toll booth. But even the Africa Twin was starting to grow tired of the incessant interruptions and decided to protest.
Oh! You okay?
Yeah.
Can't really get on that side, that's the problem. I'm glad the rail held. Alright. I found a glove. Is that yours? Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Let me move the bar, baby.
And despite a successful recovery,
You alright? That was dumb. I'm sorry.
I still somehow managed to sustain an injury.
What happened to you?
I got stung by a bee?
Yeah? You're how old and you've never been stung by a bee before?
No.
It's your first time?
First time.
That's crazy.
It hurts.
Are you going into anaphylactic shock?
I already did.
Is your tongue swelling? Do I need to shove my wallet down your throat so you don't swallow your tongue? Or no, that's a seizure. All right, well, if you start feeling funny, you let me know. Anaphylaxis.
Okay.
All right.
After departing what Chad promised would be our last photo break of the day, he grew suspiciously quiet, undoubtedly attempting to concoct some anaphylaxis cover story to account for my untimely death. We slowly and quietly wound our way down Highway 3S when he suddenly turned around and veered off the road, making an unannounced detour into Moyepata and back into the mountains, which I could only assume was part of his master plan, getting me as far away from medical facilities as possible.
Watch out, there's an open manhole there. See an open manhole?
So up into the foothills of Cordillera Vilcabamba we went, and through the steep, narrow streets of Moyepata, our home for the evening, where Chad was nice enough to fix the shower for me before going to bed. Having miraculously survived the night, I woke to find Chad studying the map. Over breakfast, he proposed an ambitious plan. Departing the Sacred Valley, the original idea had been to wind our way up Highway 3S to Huancayo before breaking west to Lima. But somewhere along the way, Chad spotted a sign for Laguna Umantay, so we detoured to Moyepata, where, after studying the satellite images, he figured we could link the broken sections of Highway 109 around the lake to the backside of Salcantay Mountain, which, as it turns out, was far from the shortest distance between points A and B. But that's never stopped us before. So we figured we'd give it a go and see how far we could make it. Which, as we soon found out, was right about here. About 5 minutes shy of Ollantaytambo. As it turns out, Route 109, also known as the Camino Inca Salcantay, is only open to vehicular traffic for residents of the surrounding villages.
Well, this isn't exactly what I had in mind. According to the map, the road continues quite a ways up into the mountains, but just talked to the gentleman with the walkie-talkie, and he's saying that you know, vehicles can't pass beyond this point. You got to park here and continue on foot. And it's about an hour and a half just to get to the lake, so kind of a bummer. I mean, it's beautiful up here, but would have liked to have been able to get deeper into the mountains. What are you gonna do?
Having already come all this way, and not wanting to leave empty-handed, we decided to give the trek to Laguna Umantay the old college try.
What's wrong with you? Go on.
What we failed to realize, however, was the lake sits at nearly 4,250 meters, 14,000 feet above sea level. And the 6.5 kilometer, 4-mile hike was a bit challenging.
Well, in an unexpected turn of events, we're hiking. Wasn't planning on doing any hiking today yet. Here we are.
Ollantaytambo, to which we had just arrived, is a crossroads. The pack horses ferry supplies for trekkers embarking on the 6-day hike to Machu Picchu via the Salcantay Inca Trail. The saddled horses are used by the tour groups, for whom the vans in the parking lot await.
This sucks.
Going to Laguna Umantay.
The army ants up there, all the people. It's way up there. I'm not gonna go way up there. Not sure the gin longs are up to the task. Caviar and champagne at the top for the tour groups. Well, we leave defeated. And we can't take our moto up here? What gives? What gives? Local privilege.
So, after a haphazard, albeit very scenic morning, we jumped back on our 94 horses and retraced our steps out of the mountains and back into Moyepata. where this kid made our day. And we sort of rode through another street market. Sorry, everybody. From there, it was back to Highway 3S and what had been our original plan all along, north to Huancayo.
Check it out.